What's going on, team? Sherjan here, your personal mentor. So we are going through a pandemic right now in 2020, and it sucks. I get it, but a lot of you are trying to get a job, trying to get that awesome internship next summer, or that full-time job. And recruiting is upon us, and sometimes it's hard to think about what should I do, how should I get that dream job. There's all these things that are happening around us that are out of my control. There's also a recession upon us, U.S. elections, blah blah blah. But there's a lot of things going on that makes recruiting tough, tougher than normal, and it's already tough, as we know. So today's video, I want to talk to you guys about 4 things you can do today to help you improve your chances of getting that dream job. All right? Number 1, we are going through a recession. We are also going through a pandemic. Makes it twice, the whammy. It makes it super, super hard. I graduated in 2009, which was just a recession. And graduating in just a recession is a lot easier than graduating in a recession and a pandemic. Because at least in a recession, businesses can remain open, people can still network, people can still meet each other, interviews can still happen if there is some hiring happening. So obviously you guys are going through some challenging times, right? A lot challenging than most people have faced before. But having said that, these are the cards that are dealt to everybody. They're dealt to you, they're dealt to me, they're dealt to all of my other students and mentees. So we're all facing this problem collectively as one group. So the first thing I want you to do is to acknowledge the fact that there is a recession and a pandemic that's happening. Once you've acknowledged it, you gotta stop dwelling on it. You just can't be stuck here and every day be like, oh man, I know it's a tough environment, companies aren't hiring so I can't get a job. Oh man, like there's this and this. Those are valid reasons, but you can't change them. They're out of your control. So just acknowledge them, don't dwell on them, and move on. So that's number 1, just acknowledging the situation. Once you've done that, the second thing I want you to do is brand yourself. Most people don't think of themselves as a brand, right? But you are a brand. We're all a brand. Now, you may not be a brand today, but over time you will become a brand, right? Right now, and I'll make another video on this, most people think of their early part of their career as a brand chasing mode, right? They're always trying to get a job at Goldman Sachs, Google, McKinsey, go to Harvard, those kind of things. Those are great. They give you credibility, they give you that initial brand, give you that initial lift. But as you get to like 28, 29, 30 years old, you will start becoming a brand. You'll need to evolve from chasing brands to becoming a brand. So now, most of you who are my students and mentees are probably not at that age, but that doesn't mean you can't start thinking about using yourself and making yourself feel like a brand and using the channels that are available to you to become a brand. So what does that mean? Historically, you could brand yourself in person. You could wear a nice suit to an interview, you could have a great smile, you could, make great eye contact, all those things, right? You could have a great, social presence. But these days, everything is online, given the pandemic, right? Everything is online. So you need to have an amazing and consistent brand across all channels online. So what does that mean? Let's start with LinkedIn. Have an awesome LinkedIn, right? Look at my LinkedIn. Just go to linkedin.com, search Sherjan, add me if you want to. See how I've done it, right? Good photo, great, banner, detailed, job history, education history, some jokes in it, all of my accomplishments are in it, all of those things. Even though I'm not a big believer of LinkedIn to begin with, because I think LinkedIn is more of a directory, not a network, but you need to have presence there, and not only just a presence, but a great presence. And don't make your account private, your photo private, make it public. Similarly, all these other channels. Now, before we talk about the other channels, I want you to think about a brand like, say, Nike. Look at Nike. If you meet a Nike employee, or you go to a Nike store, or you check out Nike's Instagram, or you buy a Nike shoe, all of those avenues, speak and yell Nike. The brand is super consistent across all of those channels. And as a company, as a brand, they use all of those channels to, advertise their brand, to market it, to spread it. You are also a brand. May not be a big one yet, but you will be one day. You are also a brand, and you need to start using all the other channels available to you. So what are those channels? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, right? Medium. There's so many amazing brands out there that you can use. Use them. They're there for you. So what does that mean? Most of us are using, TikTok. Most of us are using Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook. But what we do is we don't take them seriously in terms of our branding. We just put whatever's on our mind in there and let it be. And then when recruiting season comes up, most of us go and make those social media profiles private or delete them. That's a wrong idea. When you delete something like that, employers will be like, oh man, this person's weird. They don't exist on social media. Because remember, everybody's gonna search you. Everybody's gonna search you online, right? When they get your resume, when they see your resume, they're gonna search you online. So use that, online search that's about to happen in your favor. Use Facebook to your advantage. Put up amazing photos of your hobbies and your friends and family. Same thing with Instagram. Let's say you're an avid, you love snowboarding. Put up snowboarding photos, right? So use it to showcase all the amazing things you can do and you are doing. Because those days of having multiple coffee chats and getting someone to build a relationship with you over time and then getting an interview from them, that's long gone. And it'll come back, I'm sure it will. Because right now, you need to use the online presence that you can establish by yourself to tell people who have never met you that you are awesome, you are cool, you'd be awesome to work with, right? You'd be an amazing addition to the team. So use Instagram, put amazing photos, don't make it private. Same thing with Facebook. Use Medium, write some articles, right? If you love writing about something, if you love thinking about some idea, it doesn't have to be business related. It could be anything. It could be a cooking article. It could be an article about traveling, whatever it is. Write, get yourself spread on the web as much as possible. Similarly, Google. Most people don't think about Google search, but that's the first place people are gonna search you. And if you're not taking that seriously, you may find out you may have some bad photos, some photos of your clubbing days and party days that are showing up. You may have some articles that have popped up and they may not be true. I have a student of mine who actually got expelled for the wrong reason from a university. And then the university had to reinstate that person because they were wrong. Now, those articles that came out about him back then are still there. So he had to go back and clean it up, because think about from a recruiter's perspective. If I get this person, let's call him John, his resume, and I search it up on Google and I see all these negative articles, I'm not gonna hire him. I'm not even gonna invite them for the interview. So make sure your Google history is clean. The Google search records are clean. All right, the next part about branding is your resume. Most people I know don't take their resume seriously. And I have a free course that you guys should all take. It's the best resume course you'll ever take. I can guarantee you that. It's 90 minutes on Skillshare, so check it out. But resume is the most important document of your life, right? First thing is, it's a living document. It's a document that should change every 3 to 6 months because you get new experience. When you get new experience, you gotta update your resume. Number 2, it's the most important document because it represents you when you're not there. Every person you're cold emailing, every person you're networking with, every person you're interviewing with, the only document that they get that represents you, that is your salesperson, is your resume. So that resume has to sell you within 5 seconds. So make sure your resume not only has great content, but it looks beautiful. It looks great. It's the packaging, it's the commercial, the teaser trailer for you, right? So use my course, the link is in the bottom, it'll help you. All right, so that's branding. Now you've done branding. First thing you did was you acknowledged the situation, it's a pandemic. Next, you branded yourself, all things you can do yourself. Number 3, you gotta spread the brand, right? Those days of info sessions and career centers and employers coming to campuses and you being able to do coffee chats, long gone. You need to take things in your own hand, and the best way to do it, probably the only way that I would recommend, is cold emailing. Get used to cold emailing. Cold emailing is a superpower most people never use, right? So use it to your advantage. Find everybody that you can find, from alumni who went to your school, to friends of friends, to people on LinkedIn, and make it a goal of yours that every day you're gonna cold email 5 people. And everybody's email is so easy to guess. Imagine if you could just guess anybody's phone number and text them. That's what cold emailing is like. So guess anybody's email. It's usually first.lastname@thatcompany.com, or maybe some iteration of that. Email them. Email 5 people a day. Make it a goal of yours. 99% of those emails will never get replied. But that's just part of the game. That's just part of the game. But do it. Do it again and again. Make it a goal of yours. Make it a routine. Just like how you wake up and brush your teeth, make it a routine that you cold email people. That's gonna get your resume and your candidacy and your name on people's radars. When you send 100 emails out, you'll get 1 reply back. That 1 reply is worth it, okay? It's worth the effort. Finally, you gotta prepare. You have the time right now. The world is closed, but interviews will happen someday, and you don't wanna be caught off guard. So when you think about preparing for an interview, most people prepare for, technical side. They'll spend 90% of their time preparing for technical interviews. That's wrong. You don't wanna do that. Most people don't get hired because they can do the job, right? And there's no point in learning how to do the job if you can't even get the job. And how do you get the job? You get the job by working on the behavioral side of the interview process, not the technical side of the interview process. Look, most of these jobs in, let's say, banking, consulting, accounting, even tech, what are they? When you get the job, you got to obviously think about problems. You add numbers in Excel. Everybody can do that. You align logos and objects in PowerPoint. Everybody can do that. And you write some text in Microsoft Word. Literally everybody can do that. So the jobs themselves are not hard, right? So you going out there and spending hours and hours learning how to do the job is pointless. Now that doesn't mean I don't want you to go prepare for technical interviews. You should. Spend a weekend on it. Learn the basics, the foundations, and understand them, right? Just the foundations. But that's it. The remaining 90% of the time, work on your behavioral skills, your soft skills, your ability to smile in an interview, make that eye contact, show your awesome personality, discuss your amazing background, your story, right? Why should they hire you? Why this industry? And make those answers feel authentic, right? That's what's gonna get you the job. People wanna hire people that they wanna work with, right? And if they find someone who they would love working with and who doesn't know how to do the job, that's fine, they'll train you, right? So again, when you prepare, put more effort on the behavioral side of things, less effort on the technical. And guys, next month is my 10-year anniversary teaching my world famous workshop on how to break into these industries. Link also on the bottom. Check it out, come join me. I'm trying to teach everything that I know over 5 to 6 hours. I'd love for you guys to be part of that. Well, thanks so much for coming, I appreciate it. Good luck in your upcoming interviews, and hopefully we can get through this together.